and a little bit of passion afterwards.
You love it.
That'll be the first personal on DJ Carrington.
Bag Dejanay Clout Chaser Carrington. Careful what you wish for, Dejanay. Be careful what you wish for. You're the one that circled 8/23 on the calendar. You're the one who tweeted out 8/23 as if it was some date we all should pay attention to. And people paid attention and saw you. Ooh, you had a bad game.
If you thought the tension ended after last week's explosive moment with Sophie, think again. The second Sophie stepped off the floor, DJ Carrington sent a brutal message, a deliberate shoulder barge straight into Caitlin Clark. Was it payback, a mind game, or something far more personal? DJ finally broke her silence, and what went down next stunned the entire arena. Here is what really happened behind the
put on an absolute display versus the Chicago Sky in a huge win for the Indiana Fever. Take a look at this. The girl continues to just do the impossible. Caitlin Clark has more 30-point 10 assist games than the rest of WNBA history combined. She has more 30-point 10 assist games than the entire history of the WNBA
Professional sports love a good villain, but what happens when the designated antagonist keeps turning every single rivalry into a masterclass on how to completely play yourself on national?
Like, just play basketball. Like, why it always got to be something with the same repeated offenders, man? Like, it's always like the less talented out of the group, right? The less talented ones always focus on everything but basketball. The ones that's talented, you know what they focus on? Putting the ball in the hoop. The ones that's less focused, that's less talented, you know what they focus on? They focus on being violent.
If you have been tracking the ongoing soap opera, that is the Women's National Basketball Association. This season, you already know that DJ Carrington has practically made it her second full-time job to audition for. The role of ultimate court menace only for every single theatrical attempt to backfire with catastrophic comedy gold.
Day just to get embarrassed by Caitlin Clark. The big bad wolf coming through, blowing houses down until she tried to blow down the Caitlin Clark brick house that was built by Dejanay. This lady was 3 for 11. 3 for 11, 0 for 3 from the 3. A terrible performance. My goodness. Tried to come out and take the show, right? Tried to create her moment. And guess what, Dejanay? Now your name is Dejanay Carrington.
The entire saga reached a whole new level of absolute absurdity after that infamous altercation a couple of weeks ago, where DJ managed to get herself tossed from a high-stakes match after delivering a wild flagrant 2 foul on Sophie Cunningham, right when everybody thought the league was going to witness a moment of reflection, cool heads, or perhaps a temporary suspension of aggressive antics. DJ decided that her true calling in life was actually revenge targeting, setting her sights firmly back on the league's ultimate lightning rod, Caitlin
Clark. Caitlin Clark makes 8 3-pointers. The Indiana Fever win by 23 points. Great foresight on your end, DJ Carrington. Nobody asked you to clothesline Sophie Cunningham, go into the locker room and tweet, "White privilege." Nobody forced you to do it, but you did it. And he put the spotlight on you. So coming into this game, we were all asking, what's DJ Carrington going to do 8/23? And she stunk up the joint.
What followed in their very next showdown was nothing short of a theatrical performance that deserves its own comedy special. Complete with theatrical side-eye, exaggerated flopping demonstrations, and a shoulder barge so blatantly obvious that it managed to turn the entire stadium into a wall-to-wall chorus of head-shaking amusement. To truly understand how we arrived at this hilarious spectacle of petty basketball drama, one has to look back at the master plan DJ seemingly laid out on social media prior to the matchup, after getting thrown out for trying to take Sophie out of the equation during their previous meeting. DJ took to her personal accounts to post a cryptic date practically marking her calendar for the exact day she would face Indiana again. It was framed like a heavy metal movie trailer, an ominous warning to the basketball universe that when August rolled around, retribution was coming and nobody was going to stop her from delivering a physical statement. The problem with announcing your villainous return on a public calendar, however, is that you actually have to back it up with basketball skill when the game clock starts ticking instead of coming out like a focused assassin. DJ entered the hardwood looking like someone whose main strategy involved picking a fight with a ref, the crowd, and the laws of physics, all while Caitlin Clark was casually warming up her shooting.
I don't care about basketball anymore. I don't care about basketball. The only thing that I care about is, can I go and clip farm on Caitlin Clark? Like, the second she checked into the game and does that, we're all like, here goes Dejanay. And then the next possession was this shit. She tries to start shit with Caitlin. Caitlin's just like...
The moment the game got underway, the intensity was palpable, but the tone was set almost immediately by how completely unfazed Caitlin appeared to be by the high-velocity shade being thrown in her direction. During the second quarter of action, with Indiana holding a razor-thin lead, DJ found herself whistled for a defensive foul after attempting to wall off a drive from the point guard. Rather than retreating to the huddle or organizing the defense, DJ decided this was the absolute perfect opportunity to stage an impromptu drama class right in front of official Charles Watson. Standing on the hardwood, she began flailing her arms, throwing her head and shoulders backward in an outrageously exaggerated pantomime, desperately trying to convince the officiating crew and the fans in the front row that Caitlin had just committed an Oscar-worthy flop to draw the whistle. Exactly 40 seconds after the dramatic flopping demo, Caitlin retrieved the ball on the perimeter, created a pocket of space with her trademark step-back move, and elevated right over DJ's outstretched hand to bury a smooth 3-pointer. As the ball ripped through the net to break the tie, DJ's frustration visibly boiled over into pure, unadulterated petty tactics. As Caitlin turned around to jog back on defense, clear as day on the high-definition cameras, DJ veered out of her natural lane and deliberately threw her shoulder right toward Caitlin's path for a classic drive-by shoulder barge. It was the kind of petty nudge you see in a middle school hallway. A physical exclamation point meant to assert dominance after getting scored on.
Process and getting used to play on the court as a rookie, that she brings a defensive mentality.
That'll be the first.
Poking the bear. Look at it. Once again, trying to create her moment. Look at it. Why you keep acting like I'm fouling you? Look, and then she's all in the ref face, spitting on him. Look at this. Somebody give her the t-shirt, man. Give her the tech. Give her the tech. Look at this. I'm not doing anything. I'm just guarding up. Okay. You want the smoke? Caitlin gonna give it to you. You want the smoke? She's gonna give it to you, man. Look, turn around, jump her in the eyeballs.
The funniest part of the whole interaction, however, was Caitlin's reaction to getting bumped on the run. Instead of falling to the floor, escalating into a shouting match, or calling for a technical foul, Caitlin simply sidestepped the contact, raised one hand, and dismissively waved DJ away as if she were a minor inconvenience, like brushing off a persistent mosquito at a summer picnic, while the internet instantly erupted, with clips of the shoulder barge accumulating hundreds of thousands of views within minutes. The sheer contrast between the two players could not have been more hilarious. You had one player desperately trying to start a physical feud, and the targeted superstar acting like she barely noticed the person attempting to initiate the feud even existed on the same continent, where every single time DJ attempts to rattle Caitlin with physical play, verbal jabber, or social media callouts, the universe responds by handing her a front row seat to a masterclass in basketball excellence. Sports analysts on every major morning show could barely contain their laughter breaking down the footage, pointing out that initiating physical contact against a player who is currently lighting up the score sheet only serves to make the offender look completely desperate for attention, while the scoreboard paints a vastly different reality.
Stephanie White telling us that Kelsey Mitchell gets shots for herself, but her gravity as well. Great shots for others. Wow, the side needed that one. Caitlin Clark off the dribble. Cold-blooded.
Caitlin Clark answered the bell tonight with a magnificent 37 points, 10 assists. She knocks down a career-high 8 threes, goes 8 for 12 from three-point range, was on an absolute heater tonight. You can't say enough about how she played tonight. The Fever win 113-90 over Chicago.
While DJ was busy collecting extra fouls, complaining about the referees, and trying to land subtle shoulder bumps, Caitlin went on to put together one of the most dominant individual performances of her entire professional career. Over 32 masterclass minutes on the floor, Caitlin dismantled the opposition's perimeter defense with terrifying efficiency, draining 8 three-pointers, dropping 37 total points, and handing out 10 precision assists. She turned the entire arena into her personal shooting gallery, hitting long-distance bombs from deep beyond the arc while the defensive unit scrambled around in total disarray. The irony of the situation reached historic levels when the fans realized what the final score meant for both franchises moving forward into the remainder of the season. By the time the final buzzer sounded, the crushing blowout loss had officially eliminated DJ's squad from playoff contention entirely, effectively ending their postseason dreams right there on their own home floor. The very game that DJ had hyped up as her ultimate revenge match after the Sophie Cunningham incident ended up being the exact game that put a final, definitive end to her team's
year. Like the Clark show that she put on in Chicago, any and everybody can get it. Was that white privilege? Well, wait a minute, DJ Carrington. Was that white privilege? 37 points. Was that white privilege? 10 assists, 37 point, 10 assists, double-double. Was that a white privilege double-double? Was that 8 3-pointers? Right in your eyes, hitting threes from Baghdad, on Natasha Cloud, on you, on anybody. The girl was pulling up from the parking lot. Was that a part of white privilege, DJ?
Social media users immediately began reposting her cryptic warning graphics alongside the final box score, creating a viral wave of memes that highlighted just how catastrophically the entire revenge narrative had backfired on every conceivable level. Watching from the sidelines and the stands, everyone could see the clear frustration radiating off the defense as the lead continued to balloon out of reach. When a player spends an immense amount of mental energy trying to physically intimidate an opponent, Caitlin did not need to say a single word in the post-game press conference about the shoulder barge or the flopping accusations. Because her play on the court rendered any verbal comeback completely obsolete, she played with a level of cold, detached focus that made all the extra antics look completely small time, by comparison showing that the best possible response to aggressive posturing is simply dropping a historic double-double and taking home
the win.
Hey guys, I was critical of Caitlin Clark last night. She had a tough game, didn't show up. But guess what tonight? Backs against the wall. You need a win. People talking shit about you. This is what elite players do. You come back and you show the world who you motherfucking are. 37-10. No Aaliyah Boston. I don't want to talk shit about Aaliyah Boston because
The sheer volume of online commentary following the matchup proved that the public has grown increasingly exhausted by these one-sided rivalries that exist mostly in the minds of the aggressors. Basketball fans love intense physical competition when two elite players are going back and forth on equal footing, but when one player is orchestrating physical contact after the whistle, while the other is busy breaking franchise records, it ceases to be a rivalry and simply becomes a comedy of errors, turning her into an unstoppable offensive engine that feeds off the extra motivation. What made the whole scenario even more bizarre was the context of what had transpired just weeks prior during the game where Sophie Cunningham was targeted. That initial incident had already drawn intense scrutiny from the league office, resulting in an upgraded flagrant foul and an automatic ejection that left teammates and fans demanding more discipline on the floor.
All this nonsense, trying to mock, trying to get a reaction. You look childish and corny, then going down, shoulder bumping. Like, that's weird, bro. That is weird. And we got to start calling things for what they is. They're weird. People that do this is weird. Weirdos. That's just the truth. And this is what BLACK privilege looks.
DJ, on the other hand, was left to deal with the overwhelming internet consensus that her persistent attempts to harass the league's top star have become nothing more than a self-inflicted punchline. If there is one valuable lesson to be learned from this entire multi-week soap opera, it is that if you're going to plan an elaborate revenge tour on national television, you should probably make sure you can stop your target from scoring 37 points first. Beyond the hilarious viral memes and the endless highlight loops, this entire sequence underscored a fundamental truth about modern sports entertainment. You cannot out-troll pure, unadulterated talent. When the dust finally settled and the arena cleared out, the narrative surrounding